This week's video is about the Aquarium Tuber Challenge, which is basically a list of 10 questions I have to answer that was posed to me by a fellow YouTuber, fan over at Tidal Gardens. Thank you very much for throwing me under the bus. For including me in this tuber challenge. And then when I'm done, I'm going to do the same thing to 3 others. That sounds fair, right? So let's start off. The very first question is, what would I prefer? What do I like? Fish only tank or a reef tank? I answer, do I have to actually say the words? I'm all about reef keeping, so that answer seems pretty obvious. I don't even think I'd do a fish only if I was going to do a species tank, because I just love seeing corals with fish. So, second question, do you prefer soft or hard corals? I love LPS corals, and that is kind of a mixture of both, because I like to see the big fluffy heads with frog spawn, with hammers, with torches, with pagoda cup, with Duncans, Tubastria. All these corals that I really enjoy the most are typically LPS. I love the colors of SPS corals, and they're vivid and they're fantastic, but I just find myself always putting LPS in my reef. My favorite coral is the Tubastria coral, which is the sun coral. I just love that coral. I think it's so awesome. It grows in caves in nature, never sees a lick of sunlight, and is super vivid. Usually they're orange, sometimes they're more in the pink area color, and they're heavy feeders. They have to be fed all the time, so wherever they grow, and it's funny, I know that a lot of sun corals that are retrieved from the coastal waters near Texas and Louisiana are off the oil rigs. So off of those pillars, there's sun corals down there. I wish I could just swim out there and grab myself a few. But I love sun corals. I think they're awesome. My second choice is in the softy family. I love Recordias, but I have the worst time keeping them alive. So I stick with what I love, which is Tubastria. My favorite fish? Okay, we gotta wait for Spock to swim away. My favorite fish is the mandarin. I love their colors. I've had mandarins for years, and I have an article about their care on my website. The mandarin that I have in the tank right now, which may appear in this video, it may not, it depends where he is at any given time, came from ORA, and he's beautiful, he's awesome, tank raised, and I'd love to get him a female, so that way they could do their mating dance at night. I think that would be beautiful. I've seen that in the past, and I'd like to see it again. I just haven't really been actively looking to add a second mandarin to the reef. The fifth question, my least favorite coral, and that would be Anthilia. It's a horrible coral, and I base that specifically on the effort I had to expend one day to remove it from a fellow hobbyist tank. It was on everything. It was on the rocks. It had grown on overflows. It had grown on plumbing. It had grown over corals that it had murdered because it grows faster than other corals, and it would encrust and encase and slaughter. And Anthilia is in that same family that kind of looks like Zinnia. It's not as pretty as Zinnia. It's just kind of a hideous coral. I don't recommend it to anyone new in the hobby. And if you're experienced in the hobby, you know not to get it, so you agree. We hate that coral, right? Question number 6, my least favorite fish. And I would have to say something that would bite me in the tank. So if I reach in the reef and it bites me, I don't like that fish. And one of the fish that comes to mind is the Clarkey clownfish. They kind of have that bulldog lower jaw, and they're territorial, and they will bite you and draw blood. It's that type of clown. Clownfish, they're kind of in the damsel family, and damsels are mean fish too. But I just don't like the Clarkeys. If you're a Clarkey lover, please grab all the love, because I have none. Number 7, homemade food or commercial fish food? And my answer is Rod's Food. I use Rod's Food in my reef every single day. I love all the different types I can use. I actually mix several of them together and feed my fish. I have an entire article on how to make your own fish food on my website, and I used to make my own years ago. I guess I've gotten lazy, or I don't know, it's just so convenient. I just love to go to the freezer and grab some food, thaw it out, and feed my babies. So I've been using Rod's food for years, and I don't see myself changing that anytime soon. Number 8, should I use, do I prefer LEDs, T5s, or Metal Halide? I'm a Metal Halide guy. I love them. My Reef has 3 400-watt Metal Halide bulbs over it. It's been like that, well, since this tank went up. I had Metal Halides over the last tank that was up. I had Metal Halides over the tank before that. So I'm all about Metal Halides. I just love the look. I love the shimmer I get on the corals. I don't get that disco effect that I see with a lot of LEDs. But I'm going to have to replace the VHO lighting on my Reef because the bulbs are old and you cannot get that bulb anymore. And because that's the case, I'm going to be putting in the Reef Bright XHO actinic or deep blue LED strip. And that will replace the 2 VHO bulbs and give me the blue hue I like and give me the Metal Halides for the growth that I appreciate. So I'm going to be mixing them a little, but I really love the look of Metal Halides and I just won't give them up. Now the frag system, it has had LEDs. My Refugium has LEDs. The Anemone Cube right here has been under Radions for 3 years, so LEDs. But on my main Reef, I really like Metal Halides. Number 9, what would be my dream tank? You're looking at it. My dream tank has been an inception from chaos. Basically, I had a beautiful 280-gallon Reef that I loved. It was gorgeous. It was my pride and joy. And then one day the silicone let go, it started leaking, and I had to break it down in a hurry. And that was back in 2010. And when I was looking to replace the tank, the suggestion was broached that I would build a dream tank instead of just getting something off the rack. And that's exactly what I did here. I designed this one on paper. I sent it to Marineland and said, can you guys make this? And they had their guys look at it and they said, yeah, we can do that. This is literally the last custom tank they ever built. So there is a little bit of a, I don't know what you want to call that. I like it. I like that it's the last one. It's my dream tank. And this tank is 84 inches long, 7 feet, 3 feet wide, 30 inches tall. It's got the external overflow at the opposite end. There's a big sheet of black acrylic so you can't see the overflow box. You don't see the plumbing coming down. There's no holes anywhere. It's Starfire on 3 sides. This is it. So I don't know what I would do when this tank finally reaches the end of its lifespan. I guess I'd replace it with the exact same thing again. Maybe I'd change the way the livestock is in there. I don't know. This is the dream. And I love it. I love it every single day. And every day that I'm here in my office working, when I'm at my table building things for customers, I'm enjoying my Reef right by my side. And so I'm living the dream. And then number 10 is challenge 3 other YouTubers to the Aquarium Tuber Challenge. So the first person I'm going to challenge is going to be Joey at King of DIY. And Joey, I want you to do this about saltwater. I know you're a big freshwater guy, but I know you like saltwater, so I want to hear your answers to these questions about saltwater. The second person I'm going to challenge is going to be Richard at Aficionado, who is never in front of the lens. So Richard, get in front of the camera and answer these questions. And then the third person is going to be Robert at Marine Depot, because he does a lot of videos about products, and I want to hear what Robert thinks and what he believes, what he feels about these questions. I want to hear what fish he likes and doesn't like, what coral he likes and doesn't like, what his dream tank is. The guy is in the industry, so let's hear what he likes. Okay, so let's have an update. Number 1, the channel is over 20,000 subscribers. I have a question though. Why aren't 20,000 of you watching this video? I already know this is going to get 2,000-3,000 views. I don't understand subscriptions. I love it. I think it's good. I think you should be following your subscriptions and tuning in every week. But I don't really understand. So if you could answer that, if you could tell me why you watch certain videos or don't. I'm just curious. I'm just trying to understand the metrics of how it all goes together. But I just uploaded a 3-year anniversary of the tank, and it blew out of the water, in a week flat, over 12,000 views. So there's certain things you guys love. I guess you guys love the Reef. Explain it to me. I really want to know, seriously. If there's a topic you want me to give do a video on, tell me. If there's one you just keep thinking, why hasn't he done this yet? I want to hear it. If you are thinking, oh, well, you know, it's just I didn't have time, that's fine too. Just give me honest answers. I just kind of want to understand your mindset, please. The update on the tank, got the phosphates gone. I used Phosphate RX pretty much every day or every other day for the last week and got them down from whatever deep blue was, which was more than 1 ppm. I got them down to about 0.1 and ran out of the bottle. I used the whole bottle up in a week. And my livestock lived. So for all you guys who are like, what about Phosphate RX? And it's fine. It's awesome. I've been using it for 10 years. And if I have a lot of phosphate, I'll use it a bunch. And if I have a little bit, I'll use it occasionally. I use it as needed. And I've never thought twice about it. Matter of fact, it was funny. So I had this huge phosphate issue. And then I put in Phosphate RX. And right as I was going to sleep, my phone chimed and said, your waste collector is full. The skimmer's turned off. You need to go drain it. And I was like, I am so tired, I'm going to sleep. And then, of course, every hour while I slept, I got a text saying your waste collector's full. So in the morning I wake up and there's 8, 9 notifications. And then I emptied it out. And when I emptied it out and the skimmer came back to life, I started thinking, oh man, that wasn't really smart, because I had Phosphate RX in the system and the skimmer wasn't really skimming all night. But, so I'm just saying, make sure your skimmer's operational. My Reef took it without even skipping a beat. No problem whatsoever. You know, because my skimmer doesn't turn off completely, one pump turns off. The other one is still running, so there's still the foam building up inside the body, but it wasn't really exporting into the cup like I would have liked. And so if I'm dosing Phosphate RX, I'm gonna get my butt out of bed and empty that waste collector and get myself set up for the night so I can pull everything out. And no, I didn't use a filter sock. I know I sell the sock. I have some somewhere that are used. I was wanting to rinse out, but I haven't because I hate cleaning socks. And anyway, I've been using Phosphate RX and knocking the phosphate out. And when I test with the Elos kit, every time I test, it's less. So it's working great. And the cyano that was appearing in my tank is less. Interestingly, or coincidentally, I mean, we all know cyano it's related to lighting and flow, but it also deals with nutrients of the water and phosphates. So by killing all the phosphates, it's actually killing the cyano. And what little bit I saw in the refugium has gone away. And there's a little bit on the tips of the coral that I'm going to blow off. By the way, that Shadowcaster acro, that big colony, gorgeous from above. I love looking at that coral. It's so pretty. I cleaned some equipment, you know, the normal stuff, you know, Vortec pumps, skimmer collection cups. I got in there and did some other tidying up and so forth last few days, making sure everything's working right. But the big news is that I got 2 more sun corals while I was in New Jersey this past weekend. I had them, packed them very carefully. I got them, you know, it was like an impulse buy. It's the very last, 10 minutes of the show. And I decided, yes, I want these corals. And now I got to figure out how to get them home. Isn't it cute? It's a little tiny bucket. Look, they all think it's fish food. It's a little tiny guy. And I'm going to use it for safety stuff. But the point is, I had these tiny buckets. I had corals. And so I asked them to pack them very carefully. They had what looked like a deli container with a lid that snaps on top, like you might get potato salad in. I told them to put the coral inside plastic, inside the bag with water, so the plastic would keep the coral from moving inside the body of water. Then I put that inside a bigger bag, put a big knot in there, stuck it in here, sealed the lid, put it in my suitcase with all my luggage, and flew home. And when I got home, as soon as I got home, I opened the suitcase, everything was dry. I opened it up, everything was fine, temperature still good, believe it or not. Yes, I could have brought a soft cooler, but this was actually more bulletproof. And then I got the corals floating in water to get the temperature acclimated. Then I dipped them in, I did a coral dip and revive, and the sun corals are in the frag system now. Another update on the frag system since last week or a week before, whenever I filmed that. The frag system is now under Kessel lighting instead of the lights I had before. I wanted to give them a try, and oh my God, they're so easy to install. I had no idea it was going to be so simple. They're awesome, and I'm going to keep using them for a while to see how they do with my corals, but I have no reason to doubt them. They're great because they hang on a very simple system. I actually use fishing line on mine, but they have a gooseneck attachment as well, which is great for trade shows and frag swaps. And you can adjust the lighting instantly on them by turning a knob, which is super convenient if you want to show someone something under white light, or you want to switch it and have it under blue, or you want to turn the intensity down or raise it up manually. You can do it on the spot, which is really cool and great for people that are selling corals. And it's convenient because you don't have to log into something and change sliders on an app or anything like that. While I was in New Jersey, I found a way to smuggle myself into Manhattan, which was great because I wanted to see Manhattan aquariums. It's a beautiful fish store. I've been following it on Facebook for a while. I found out I was 30 minutes away. I was like, yes, I have to go there today. So I rode with the guys back and checked out the store. The employee that was working at the shop stayed open a few extra minutes for me because I was getting there right as they were closing. And he got me into the building, and I got to walk around and see all the corals. I did a Facebook Live video and showcased what I saw there on the spot. And then from there, I walked over to Times Square. That was my first time ever there. I had to go do it. It's been one of those things I've been really wanting to do. I'd love to do it for New Year's Eve, but I've been told by everyone, don't ever do it. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to go Saturday night, last Saturday. And I went down there and I saw all the people, and I saw the lights, and oh my God, the billboards, they're all LED driven. So everything's just glowing and visual and moving, and it's exciting. Got myself a couple selfies and I got out of there. I went to dinner. But that was really cool, and I enjoyed it. Do you guys like going to certain familiar landmarks, or do you not care? I used to be where I didn't care. It's like, whatever, I'm here to give a talk, and I just need a bed to sleep on and a shower, and let me check out your reef tank, and then I'll go home. But now, I don't know, something's changed in me, and when I go travel, I actually want to see some sights. Is that how you feel? And the final thing that is consuming all of my time day and night is the development of the new version of melevsreef.com. And I'm not going to tell you anything specific, as I want you guys to be surprised, but it's going to come out in less than a month. So it's something to look forward to in December, and I hope you guys love it. I think it's going to be amazing. It's been in development for the last month with guys working on it around the clock, and they've pretty much finished everything they had to do so that I can start adding all the content, which is all the articles, all the blogs, all the critters, all the products I sell. There's a lot to be added content-wise, and I'm going to spend a lot of time doing that. But I'm really looking forward to the reveal. It's going to work on any device, iPads, smartphones, desktops, televisions. It fits the shape of any device on the planet, basically. And I think that's just awesome. So it's been something that's been really necessary, and I'm finally embracing it. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little teaser. It's coming, and it's going to be great. For upcoming videos, I have 2 or 3 in my gears of my head right now. But I asked you guys earlier, what do you want to see? So now's your chance. You can tell me, I really want to see this, or I wish you'd do that. One of the ones that I have not missed your comments on, you guys have said we want an update on Tammy's Reef. I'm definitely getting back over there because I want to film it. So that's a promise. That is happening. It's not going to be next week, but it's coming. Because she made a few changes and she added more corals, SPS corals, and I really want to get over there and give you guys a fresh version of that tank. And I want to film it with a good microphone, because when we did it with that one, we didn't have a microphone. We used the microphone built into my camera, and it just made everything sound loud, and it was not loud at all. It was the bad microphone. So I'm looking forward to good microphone, good interview, nice photography, great update. Something you guys can look forward to. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys really quick next week.